Hello guys, it's Killjoy Computing with all your gaming and computing needs, and here I've got something new on my channel which is called a Bukkit plugin development tutorial. Now, if you know what Minecraft is, and you know what Bukkit is, and you want to learn how to develop a plugin for Bukkit in Minecraft, then you're in the right place. Now, if you don't know what Minecraft is, or Bukkit, or what I'm talking about, you probably should not be watching this video, but since I love you, I'm going to tell you you should anyway, because you may learn something. Alright, so then, first of all, I'm just going to start straight off. So what you need really is, of course, Minecraft, and to have Java installed. Now, if you're playing Minecraft and you don't have Java installed, you're some sort of wizard. And I'm just going to assume that you do have Java installed, because you need to play Minecraft. So first of all, what we're going to actually download, what I'm going to show you what to download, is something called the Java Development Kit. Now, the Java Development Kit is what allows us to build, compile, and execute code in Java. So to get to this page, all you have to do is you have to go Google, and what you should Google is you just should Google Java JDK download. And it should be the first result, alright? It should be coming from oracle.com, no other website. Alright, then once you get to this page, you're just going to go down here, you're going to go to where it says JDK, and you're going to click download. Before you can download, you must press, check the accept license agreement, and then download the proper build for your respective machine. Then once you have that downloaded and installed, you should be ready to go on that one. The next thing we must install is what's called well, let me start over. The next thing we have to install is what's called an Integrated Development Environment, or an IDE. An IDE is what allows you to code in that environment, and it will help you along the way to compile, build code. It'll check syntax errors for whatever language you're working in. Now, what I like to use as an IDE is called Eclipse. Eclipse is a really good IDE in my opinion, but definitely a lot of other people prefer an IDE called NetBeans. Now, I've tried NetBeans before. I actually use it at my school's robotics team when we programmed the robot in Java, but I just personally prefer Eclipse because to me Eclipse has a nicer user interface and it's more open. So to get to Eclipse, again, what you just want to Google is you want to Google Eclipse Indigo download. Alright, you're going to come to this page like we have before. And then what you want to do is you want to go to Eclipse IDE for Java EE developers. Now you may end up downloading another Eclipse such as Kepler, Juno, Indigo, Helios, Galileo, but what I'm going to show you how to work in is Indigo, alright? Because Indigo is what I have, and it's a little bit different for every other Eclipse IDE. So you're just going to click on this one, and then you want to download the proper download for, again, your respective machine. Now once you have that downloaded and unzipped, and basically the program's all ready to run, you're good on that side. There's one more thing we need to do, and that is download the latest recommended or beta build, or if you're feeling risky, even the development build of the latest Bukkit. So what you're going to do is you're just going to go to dl.bukkit.org, and what that means is it's download for the Bukkit. So you can go to alternate versions here, then you can download development builds or the latest recommended build. Now I already have the latest recommended build, so I'm not going to click this right now. But here's where you download recommended build, beta build, development build. And once you have all of that downloaded, you're ready to start developing. Yay, aren't you so excited? I know I am. Okay. Now the only other thing you need past this point is an actual server to run your code. Now I'll tell you in another tutorial on how to make your own server, but basically you get the gist. Alright, so then after we have everything downloaded and everything's installed, let's open up our IDE. Now it's going to ask you for your workspace. It's going to go to some default workspace. Now feel free to change this to wherever you want it to be. I have it in a coding specific library with workspaces, Java, Minecraft, YouTube. So I'm just going to open to this workspace. And then once your ID opens up, it should say have something like a welcome window. You just want to click the X, like right here. All right, and then you're going to be to the same screen I'm at right now. All right. So then what you have here is what's called the Project Explorer. This is where you're going to have a list of all your projects. Now here, you're going to want to right-click, do New Project, Java Project, and we're going to name this project name whatever you want. For this purposes, I'm going to use HelloWorld. Now just click No here. It doesn't really matter which one you click. Alright, and then you're going to have these little arrows showing the file hierarchy. Alright? You shouldn't have to worry about the JRE system libraries. But here's where all your source code is going to go. Now what we're going to do is we're going to first create something called a package. Now a package is basically a folder tree. So what we're going to do is we're going to call this, sorry, excuse me there, com.killjoy.helloworld. Now you can call this whatever you want. Just remember that some characters are, so you can't use some characters in the package name. Now, does it have to be com.killjoy.helloworld or com.yourname or whatever? No. It could be bucket.killjoy. That's something. But what you can't use is you can't do something like, I'm just going to put it over here. You can't do something like killjoy.bucket. Because bucket cannot be in the second part of any package name because it will mess up the imports that you use through Bukkit. You'll see kind of once we import something actually in the plugin. So for now, if you just did what I did basically, you should be fine. So now after this, we're going to go right-click it and do New Class. Alright, now we're going to call this class whatever we want. Typically, some plugin developers may call it main, or what I'm going to do is they're just going to call it the name of their actual plugin, which is HelloWorld. Alright, then you're going to come out with this basic outline of a class. Now, a class is where all of your information is stored and everything. I'm not going to be teaching extremely basic Java. I'm just going to cover the basis of what you need to know. Alright? So then one more thing I like to have, you may not care, but I like to have line numbers on the side here in the margins. So if you want line numbers, you have to go to Window, Preferences, where is it? General. No, it's not General. I just had it. No, it is General. I swear. General Workspace. No. Okay, General Editors. There we go. General Editors, Text Editors right here. I'm going to go to Show Line Numbers, not whitespace characters. There we go, and you get line numbers. This will help later in case in your code you get stack traces or errors on specific lines, and you'll just be able to shoot towards them. Okay, so now that we have this, you're going to be wondering how we specifically implement Bukkit. Well, what you want to do is you want to click on your project here, you want to right-click, you're going to go to Properties, go to Java Build Path, we're going to add an external jar. And we're going to add our latest version of Bukkit we downloaded from dl.bukkit.org. And once you do that, you're all set to go. So then now, let's actually start our coding. So first of all, we're going to extend Java plugin because Java plugin is the main class of where everything is stored. Now here you see that it has org.bucket. If you did something like org.bucket.something, it would mess up with Bukkit and it wouldn't really look too good. So then once we have that, now in the old Bukkit versions, you used to have to override the what's called the on-enable and on-disable methods. But since the newer releases of Bukkit, you don't have to do this, and I'll show you why in a bit here. But basically, once you have this basic outline, you're set. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to export this really quick. But I did forget something. Silly me. We need the plugin configuration file. So to do this, just going to go to New, File. We're going to call this plugin.yml. Now, when every plugin loads in the server, it's going to look for this default file of plugin.yml to load from. There are about 3 things you need in this file. We will first need the name of the plugin, so we're going to call this HelloWorld. We're going to need the version of the plugin. We're going to call this 0.1. And we're going to need the main directory of which the plugin sits. Now, this is going to be your package name, your package dot your main class. Now, your main class is whatever class is extending Java plugin. So I'll show you what mine looks like here. com.killjoy.helloworld dot hello world. So this is the name of my package, as you can see here, and this is the name of my main class, as you can see here. Alright? And once you just link those two together, it's all good. Alright? Now we're done in there for a bit, so let's export the plugin. Alright? Let's just right click on your project, go to export. And then you want to click on this little tab here with Java, and you want to click on jar file. Now, first of all, before you even mess with anything down here, you want to make sure your plugin.yml is checked and everything else is checked there, because or else the plugin will not export correctly. So now once we have everything here, we're going to choose our export destination. Now, if you've already started up your server, you should have a plugins folder. And in that plugins folder is where we're just going to place our HelloWorld plugin. So just name it HelloWorld or whatever you prefer. We'll click save, and then we'll just finish. But as you can see here, we come up with this error, which I still get from time to time. What that means is resource is out of sync with the file system. All that means is that you just have to right click on that project and click refresh. Or you can just press F5. So now we're going to try exporting again, and everything should be fine and dandy. There we go. Now let's open up our server real quick. Let's start it. And you'll see that has successfully enabled. It'll say Hello World, enabling Hello World version 0.1. Now, with the older versions of Bukkit, like way back when, you used to have to manually put in when it enabled and disabled. Now with the newer builds, it just automatically comes. So you shouldn't really have to use the on-disable or on-enable methods. So once you have everything working there, we're ready to stop our server and continue with the remainder of the plugin. Alright, so now after this, we're going to build our first command. Woohoo! Excitement! So what we're going to first is, before we start coding anything, is we're going to configure it in our plugin. Yes, you have to add every command you make. So we're just going to make a section here called commands. Then you're going to end it off with a colon. Now when you press enter, you want to make sure there are no tabs, because Java hates tabs. If you're using a text editor like I am, you can see the tabs because it will physically move over 4 spaces and it'll show lines that break the tabs. So what you're going to want is you just want to count over 4 spaces. Then you want to type in what you want to type in for the command. You'll see here. So we're just going to call this Hello World. Alright? Now, typically when you press enter here, it creates a tab. Do not let it create the tab. Just do 4 and then another 4. And you should be fine. Okay, then after that, there are 2 things you need here. You need the usage / hello world, and you need the description hello world. Alright. Now this is what the command outline looks like, alright? Commands, then you want what your command to be the usage and the description. Once you have that there, you're all good. So now to the coding part. I'm just going to code this out in one long segment real quick, and then I'm going to explain what I just did. Now, holy crap, that was a lot, wasn't it? Now, what it just prompted me is that it wanted me to ask me if I wanted the command block or the regular command that the player types. You want the one from command.command, alright, as listed by your imports up here. Okay, so then this is what happens whenever a player types something beginning with slash, the command. Alright? Now what we have here is the command sender, whoever happened to send the command. Could be console, could be player. We'll discuss this at a later date. Now there's another thing over here, and that's called command. This is the base, like everything a command comes with. Everything that's in there. You could get the command name, could get the permissions, could get the aliases, could get anything from this command variable. Now this label variable is what happens after the player types the slash. Say like slash hi. It'll analyze the hi, put it into a string, then you can use string-like properties with that hi. And then string array arguments, this is what happens whenever whatever player types after the main command. So for example, slash pvp join. That join would be an argument. We'll again go in with arguments at a later date. So first off, we're going to start off with a simple if statement, or we're going to check to see if our command label is equal to the command we just created. I like to use equals in lowercase because it just leaves less room for error. So we're just going to do hello world. Now you want to make sure that this command is whatever you typed here, alright? Or else you will have trouble getting your plugin to work. So then after we have that basic hello world there, we're going to send whoever sent the command a nice little message. So you're going to do sender.send message, and it will take a string for an argument of which you will send the player a message. So let's just say hello world. Alright, now once everything looks fine and dandy and you don't have any nasty red underline marks like this, you should be good. So then make sure to refresh your project because we did change the plugin.yml file, and we're going to export jar file. Make sure everything's good, finish. Now it says it already exists, you want to override it because we have a new version. So now we can go to our server and start it up and actually log in and see if our command works. I'm in game. Now a way to test this is if you're an operator on the server, which you should, you just type /plugins. And you'll see that your plugin is there in green. If your plugin's there in red, it means for some reason something conflicted with the plugin and the plugin disabled itself. So now we're going to type our command with /hello world. And we get a nice little hello world message back. As you can see, everything works in our plugin. Now you can also type /help to see it. Where is it? It'd be at page 2. Or no, it wouldn't be. It would be /help hello world. Below is a list of all hello world commands. Hello world. And there we go. Now we're just going to play with this message a little bit, alright? I'm just going to show you a couple more useful things you could do. You can use colors. Like you can use chat color.red. We can have a red hello world. Hello world. And then we could do something else like, I don't know. Oh, we could change it to just send it to the entire server instead of one person. Why not do that? So I'm just gonna copy that. And now instead we're gonna do sender.getServer.broadcast message. Alright, and now it will broadcast a message across the entire server. We'll see how that works. Now there is a quicker way to, instead of just shutting off your server and then turning it back on multiple ways, you can just press reload in the console and keep your server up. But I'm just turning it down so I can decrease CPU usage and get the best quality out of my videos. So now if we type hello world, we get it broadcasted to the entire server. Hello world. You'll see in the console that we also get the message because it was a broadcast. Now we will be able to use this command also in the console. See? Just spam our own server. Now, how about we have something even more friendly and say who typed the command? How about we do chatcaller.read plus sender.getName plus says hello world. How about that, huh? Make sure you have a space here, alright? Because or else it'll be formatted incorrectly. Start up our server again, and we'll see our result. Killjoy64 says, hello world. Now what happens when the console sends this? Console says, hello world. This will be the end of today's tutorial. I will be uploading several more in the future, including command arguments, permissions, and all sorts of good stuff that I have not or already covered in my previous series on my old channel. Alright, now thanks guys for watching. I really appreciate it. Like, subscribe, comment, give me feedback. I love you all, and good night.